Hey guys, welcome back to 30th Century Reverie Media, and today we just have a quick video. It's not actually a book haul like the title says, it is more an amalgamation of my recent acquisitions within the vintage, very nice edition range that I've gotten within the last year that I just want to put in one full nerdy book video. So let's get right into it. I might as well start with the oldest book in my collection, and that is Ormond by Maria Edgeworth, an edition from 1833 that I got for €10 from thebookshop.ie a while back. And yeah, I love it. It's actually in a really good condition. Haven't read it yet, but I have started reading Castle Rackrent by Maria Edgeworth, a very influential Anglo-Irish writer from the early 1800s who would have influenced like a lot of later Victorian writers and stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this out. Next I have this beautiful little edition of Goethe's Faust Part 1 in a very slim volume from 1902. And I don't know, I picked this up for €1 and I think it is just really, really cool, honestly. It's from London and New York Unit Library Limited. I have read this, but in a library copy. Really, really enjoyed it. I just haven't read part 2 yet. I got like a couple of pages in and I was just like, no, I have to do that some other time. But yeah, Faust part 1. Funnily enough, the same day I bought that Faust book, which is honestly, I think maybe 10 months ago at this stage, I also got books 1 and 2 of Paradise Lost by John Milton from Cambridge University Press 1950, also for €1. I actually finished Paradise Lost like last week, finally. So yeah, I'm so happy, and it's good. I will talk about it in my March wrap up for sure, but everybody knows Paradise Lost, but I just think this little copy is so adorable and cute, and I wish that I could have gotten all 12 books, but look, it's very nice to open an old book and see a man's first disobedience, like good stuff. Next, we have one of my favourite books as of late, Middlemarch by George Eliot. I recently acquired this gorgeous Folio Society edition with like this beautiful illustration on the cover for, I think it was 10 or €12. And look at this. Gorgeous, right? The Folio Society, 1972, and I absolutely adore this copy. I can't wait to reread bits of Middlemarch from this, because when I first read Middlemarch in January, it was in a mass market paperback from the 90s, like an old Penguin edition, which is somewhere back here, which I love, but this is gorgeous. Mass market paperbacks, I have amassed a decent collection of these like 90s Penguin popular classics, which I really enjoy. I think they look so good on the shelf. This here is North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, which I plan on starting later in the month. I only read like the first 3 pages, hence the bookmark. I have a stack of them here and I have read some of them, not all of them. Like I have Moby Dick down at the bottom, kind of hiding because I don't plan on reading that for a long time, probably. Oops. I just have too much stuff on my TBR, guys. Also, actually, a recent acquisition too is the audiobook of Paradise Lost on cassette that I got for €2. Like, I just love buying secondhand things from charity shops and independently owned stores, because I feel like I can feed my collector habits while also supporting either charities or businesses. So it's a really fun way to just collect stuff super cheap while also giving back to people a little bit, and then also not supporting, you know, mass market commercialized books and stuff. So yeah, okay, we'll continue with the Folio Societies for a second, but just yesterday, 2 or 3 days ago, I got this He Knew He Was Right by Anthony Trollope for €10. This book is gorgeous. It's a Folio Society, still in its original slipcase. I got this in Oxfam and Temple Bar in Dublin, so it's definitely one of the pricier Oxfams, but yeah, like, oh, just gorgeous. This is from 1994, and this is one that I'm actually quite excited to read because Anthony Trollope, amazingly famous Victorian writer who I've not tried yet. But this book is not part of his Barchester Towers series, so even though it's very long, it is a standalone, and that makes me more inclined to start that over The Warden and Barchester Towers, which I do have up here. This is kind of my maybe April TBR stack, by the way, except for The Waves, which I did read in March. Okay, another beautiful one that I'm very excited about is The Age of Reason by Jean-Paul Sartre. Maybe said that wrong, sorry. But this is a modern library hardback edition with a cover that I am obsessed with. I think it is gorgeous. But as far as I'm aware, this edition is from 1947. I can't find anything else to date this in the book, and there's also no IBSN, so it is definitely a vintage copy, but isn't that lovely? It intrigues me too, because I do like Albert Camus quite a bit at this stage, even though I've only really just scratched the surface there. But yeah, the premise of this one is definitely very interesting. Will hopefully read it this year. Not super vintage, but I did get, you can see up the other two up there, the Oxford Library of Short Novels from the 90s. This is has an amazing collection. I would love to get through all of them and make a video on that in the future. I'm reading Castle Rackrent in this, and yeah, this one too has a lovely birthday inscription for whoever the previous owner was, and it's a really amazing collection though. It goes from Goethe to Stevenson, like Robert Louis Stevenson here in this volume, but the other ones also have some names included across the three books. We have Goethe, Maria Edgeworth, Elizabeth Gaskell, Tolstoy, Arthur Conan Doyle, Herman Melville, Joseph Conrad, Thomas Mann, Albert Camus, D.H. Lawrence, like a lot of very, very highly acclaimed short novellas / short stories within this collection. Would actually really recommend it if you see it lying around somewhere. Now, while this is not vintage, I was so chuffed to catch this book, Vanity Fair by William Thackeray, for $2.50 in Macmillan Collector's Library, so with the golden kind of gilded edges. Oh, that's very reflective. Yeah, I see these in so many bookshops, and I'm literally never going to buy them because they're €30+, and some of the really long ones are abridged too, which no thank you. But this I got for €2.50, and it is complete and unabridged. Super convenient size for maybe reading on a commute or something. I don't actually know what this is about. It's just on my radar because it's been referenced so much by other writers. So yeah, that's Vanity Fair. Okay, I'll just show you guys 2 or 3 more and then we'll be done because yeah. So I got The Life to Come and Other Stories by E.M. Forster, which is a collection of his short stories, mostly from after 1924. And a lot of these were not published until after he died. Yeah, really interested to read this, but the reason I'm including it in this video is because it's technically kind of a vintage Penguin Teal modern classic, which I have not really seen around anywhere. I like the Penguin modern classics and their teal spine. I think they look really nice on the shelf, so excited to get to this eventually. These are 2 books, but this is The Greek Myths 1 and 2 by Robert Graves. Kind of considered a classic in terms of, you know, just collecting all of the Greek myths in a non-fiction-y kind of sense. I don't know when I will get around to reading these though, because they're deceptively long. The font is quite small in these. These are 60s vintage Pelican classics. One I'm going to read really soon because it's so short is this orange penguin classic from the 60s, One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich by Alexander Solzhenitsyn. Oops. But yeah, this, it even says on the front, the masterpiece on life in a Stalinist labor camp which shook Russia and shocked the world. So basically this author wrote The Gulag Archipelago, which is a massively chunky non-fiction kind of autobiographical memoir of the gulags and stuff and what he experienced, whereas this is an extremely compact fiction book about the same topic, so it should be a very interesting read. Lastly, the other day I found Die Leiden des Junges Werther by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe in German, which surprised me because obviously I live in Ireland, so I picked it up though because I would like to read it in the original language, so yeah. Okay, I hope you enjoyed my little nerdy book video. Maybe some of these books will interest you. I just wanted to show you my favorite recent acquisitions in my collection. I love building my little classics home library. As I said, with secondhand stuff, just a sustainable, fun little hobby for me. So yes, have a lovely day. Bye bye.